Hello friends, my name is Sonal Gogri, Assistant Professor from Faculty of Business Administration, GLS University. I will be taking 2 units of Managing People, and today we shall be talking about unit number 3, Procurement. In this unit, we have topics we shall be studying or discussing on the topics related to recruitment, selection, orientation and job design. Starting with recruitment, what is basically recruitment? You would have come across the advertisements of recruitment many a times, especially in newspapers or nowadays in job portals like monstersjob.com or timesjobs.com, naukri.com. So what is recruitment? Is basically when organizations are looking for applicants who can apply for the particular job. So in those recruitment ads, you would have seen specific qualifications mentioned, specific kind of age group mentioned, or salaries offered would be mentioned. Right? So recruitment is a part of human resource planning. It comes before selection. You do not directly take an interview and select a candidate. There has to be a proper channel of recruitment. So what is recruitment? Basically, organization decides in advance that how many people would be required in their organization. That is a part of human resource planning, where they plan how many employees or how many people or what are the resources we required in an organization for certain types of jobs. So human resource planning, which is called as HRP, human resource planning helps determine the number and type of people a firm needs, right? And of course, when you know that, okay, I need these many number of people in my organization. So how do I do it? So you start with the first recruitment process where you invite applicants, and from the pool of applicants we have received, then the organization starts selecting that of which are the best ones. So the process is like elimination of not suitable candidates for the particular job. So after HRP is done, the next logical step is to hire the right number of people of the right type to fill the jobs. This is broadly divided into 2 categories, recruitment and selection. So in simple terms, what is recruitment? It is understood as the process of searching and obtaining applicants for jobs from among whom the right people can be selected. Therefore, recruitment process is said to end with the receipt of applications. Applications should be received. In practice, the activity extends to the screening of applications so as to eliminate those who are not qualified for the job. So recruitment में सिर्फ हम applicants लाते नहीं हैं, पर applicants आने के बाद उसका screening भी होता है, which tells you basically that which candidates should be suitable and taken ahead for the next process of selection. But recruitment itself is a very long process and has to be done scientifically. So we shall be talking about recruitment process also. Recruitment refers to the process of receipt of applications from job seekers. In reality, the term is used to describe the entire process of employee hiring. There are recruitment boards. As I said, many organizations do recruitment, specifically seen in railways, banks and also organizations. Even in schools and colleges, you would have heard of campus recruitment. In B schools, in engineering universities, campus recruitment is very common. In newspapers too, recruitment is frequently used to connote the process of employment. Recruitment, finally, what is recruitment? Let us read this last line very carefully. It involves attracting and obtaining as many applications as possible from job seekers, from eligible job seekers, right? That means attracting. You have to attract. The ad should be in such a way that eligible job seekers should be willing to apply. And the process of recruitment is जितना ज़्यादा हो सके उतने applicants आए, because जितने ज़्यादा applicants उतना ज़्यादा rich pool of resources होगा organization के पास to select the good candidates. Right? So recruitment is positive process. It wants more and more applicants. It is a process of searching for prospective employees and stimulating and encouraging them to apply for jobs in an organization. And therefore, it is positive. It is often termed positive in that it stimulates people to apply for the jobs, to increase the hiring ratio, that is the number of applicants for the job. So till here, I guess what is recruitment is clear. So recruitment is kind of an advertisements which you normally see in newspapers, in job portals, jahan pe they are looking for a lot of applicants who can apply for a particular job. So it is a process of searching prospective employees and stimulating and encouraging them to apply for the jobs. Hence, it is a positive process because you want more and more applicants, candidates to come into the job. In simple words, the term recruitment refers to discovering the source from where potential candidates may be selected. So you need to discover the sources. कहाँ से आएंगे applicants आपके पास? There are internal and external sources, which I shall cover in the next slide. The scientific recruitment process leads to higher productivity, better wages, high morale, reduction in labor turnover, and enhanced reputation. So if a process is done scientifically, thoughtfully, you are selecting the right candidate for the right job, then the employee turnover ratio will be less, the morale of employees will be high. Imagine an organization is not undergoing recruitment or selection process and randomly picking up the candidates, whoever is coming for the job. They might find it difficult to train them, to develop them, the job satisfaction would be low, efficiency might be low, turnover rate would be high. At the end, it is the organization which bears the cost. And therefore, recruitment and selection, though it is an expensive process because you need experts to conduct these processes, still it is important for an organization because absence of scientific recruitment and selection is more expensive than its presence. It stimulates people to apply for the job and hence it is a positive process. In the words of Dale Yoder, recruitment is the process to discover the sources of manpower, to meet the requirements of the staffing schedule and to employ effective measures for attracting that manpower in adequate numbers to facilitate effective selection of an efficient working force. So now that we know that what is recruitment, it is finding more and more applicants from internal and external sources. Why do we do all these things? Why don't we directly jump over to selection process of taking an interviews directly? It is important because it provides a pool of potentially qualified job candidates in the organization. So certain purposes are: first, it determines the present and future requirement of the firm. You know exactly how many number of people are required in an organization and accordingly only you select. You go the further stage, right? It increases the pool of job candidates at minimum cost. Help increase the success rate of the selection process by reducing the number of visibly underqualified or overqualified job applicants. As I said, recruitment is not only inviting applicants but also a part of screening has to be done in recruitment. जहाँ पे आपको ऊपर के कुछ पॉइंट से पता चल जाएगा कि this person is not qualified or maybe overqualified for a particular job, so the rejection can be done at the same time. उतना effort कम होगा at selection process, right? So it helps in the success to increase the success rate of selection process. Let me give you a small example. Suppose एक recruitment का form है, right? Organization ने form दिया है applicants को कि आपको fill करना है, जहाँ पे educational qualifications, past experience, gender, age, all would have been written. Let's say a particular job has a criteria of age that anyone below 35 has to apply, above 35 cannot apply. वो देखकर ही पता चल गया that let's say someone is of 36 years of age, it's not suitable for the job. So recruitment के time पे ही उसको आगे ही ना ले जाओ, वो application आगे ही नहीं जाएगा, right? तो उतना ही selection में उतना effort कम होगा and success of selection ratio increases. So that is one of the purpose to eliminate the unsuitable or underqualified or overqualified job applicants at the very moment. It helps reduce the probability that job applicants once recruited and selected will leave the organization only after a short period of time. If anything done scientifically would definitely help to reduce the probability of applicants leaving it. It helps in meeting the organization's legal and social obligations regarding the composition of its workforce. Composition of its workforce, let's say organization says we want 60% male and 40% female or 50% this, 50% this, cultural diversity. So accordingly recruitment में जितने applicants आए उसी हिसाब से उसी ratio में वो आगे जाएगा for selection. So it helps in maintaining that composition also. Evaluate the effectiveness of various recruiting techniques and sources of all types of job applicants. So it helps to evaluate whatever process we are doing is correct or not, and what changes could be brought by the organizations in future. I hope why an organization undergoes a scientific method of recruitment is clear. So let us understand the process of recruitment. Recruitment is the process of locating, identifying and attracting capable applications for jobs available in an organization. Therefore, recruitment process comprises of 5 main steps: recruitment planning, strategy development, searching, screening and evaluation and control. We shall undergo each step in order to understand how a scientific recruitment is carried by the organization. Starting with the first one, recruitment planning. Now, planning means basically jahan pe organization decides how many number of people we want for what kind of job, what skills are required, what experience should be required, what is the pay organization is willing to pay, right? So all these are called the first stage of planning, jahan pe clearly mentioned hoga that ye job hai, ये ड्यूटीज हैं, ये रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज होगी, 1 साल 2 साल का अगर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है तो व्हाट कुड बी द पेमेंट्स एंड एवरीथिंग हैज टू बी मेंशन्ड क्लियरली. ऑल दैट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ प्लानिंग विच अलाउज यू टू नो कि दिस इज व्हाट आई वांट, कहाँ पे ढूंढूं मैं ये एप्लीकेशंस अब, राइट? सो फर्स्ट organization has to be clear what are they looking for. So the first step involved in the recruitment process is planning. Planning involves a draft of comprehensive job specification for the vacant position, outlining the major and minor responsibilities, the skills, experience and qualifications needed, grade and level of pay, starting date, whether temporary or permanent, and mention of special conditions, if any, attached to the job. Right? All these are a part of recruitment planning, jahan pe organization plans in detail what are the responsibilities, skills, experience, qualifications, pay, everything would be required or being offered to a candidate. After recruitment planning comes the next, wherein the organization learns to develop a strategy, jahan pe organization ko strategy develop karni hai. Strategy matlab, right, kya kare hum, what should be our next stage, राइट? मतलब ठीक है, इस टाइप के मुझे एप्लीकेशंस चाहिए जहां पे मैंने प्लानिंग में डिसाइड किया दिस इज द काइंड ऑफ एम्प्लॉइज वी आर लुकिंग फॉर. सो व्हाट शुड वी डू नाउ? वेदर वी प्रिपेयर अवर एग्जिस्टिंग कैंडिडेट्स कि उन्हीं को हम प्रमोट कर दे, ट्रांसफर कर दे और हो जाएगा काम, या शुड वी टेल अवर existing employees to bring good employees, refer someone? Should we hire an expert or a consultant who can help us? Are we going to train? So what exactly do we do? These are the vacancies, and how do we fill those vacancies? Should we go to some consultants? Should we give a newspaper ad, right? If there are more number of people required, how do we handle? If 1 or 2 odd number of people are required in between, how do we handle it? All that is a part of strategy development. So once it is known how many with what qualifications of candidates are required, the next step involved in this regard is to devise a suitable strategy for recruiting the candidates in the organization. The strategic considerations to be considered may include issues like whether to prepare the required candidates themselves or to hire it from outside. जो हमारे existing employees हैं, क्या हम उन्हीं को उस वहाँ ट्रांसफर या प्रमोट कर दे तो चलेगा, या are we looking to find new people from outside? What type of recruitment method has to be used, right? Whether we are using internal sources or external sources. What geographical area can be considered for searching the candidates? Specifically, if you are targeting salespeople and let's say your territory, or you want to sell a particular product in an entire nation, right? Then there's no point you find someone from a different state. So yes, you have to be again clear with the geographical area that I am looking forward to expand the market in, let's say, Mumbai city. I need to hire people from Mumbai, it will be easier for them to go to the market since they understand the local language and they are through to the particular town, right? So yes, recruitment यहाँ पे आपको एक strategy भी devise करनी है कि how exactly you are going to do, where are you going to target, which sources of recruitment can be practiced, and what sequence of activities to be followed in recruiting candidate of activities. What sequence will you do? आप पहले ऐड दोगे, उसके बाद क्या करोगे, फिर क्या करोगे. यू नीड टू प्लान एवरीथिंग. That yes, within 48 hours a letter should be gone, an email should be received. This will help to have a scientific process jahan pe candidates will also be clear what is the stage, what is their stage. So let us see till now what have we talked about. We talked about planning process. Planning कब करेंगे हम, उससे planning से क्या पता चलेगा, job vacancies कितनी है, right? जॉब वैकेंसीज के बाद हमने क्या किया, तो वी डू रिक्रूटमेंट प्लानिंग जहाँ पे हाउ मेनी नंबर एंड टाइप्स ऑफ एम्प्लॉइज आर नीडेड. आफ्टर यू डू अ प्रॉपर प्लानिंग, देन स्ट्रेटेजी डेवलपमेंट. फ्रॉम वेयर आर वी गोइंग टू गेट द रिसोर्सेस, एप्लीकेंट्स, हाउ एंड व्हेन. Once we are through to all these things, the next stage is searching, right? Searching, which is called as the next stage. So the next step involves attracting job seekers to the organization. How do I search? Right. From where do you get applicants? From where do you get the right kind of people who can work in your job? So searching is basically attracting job seekers to the organization, where there are two sources of recruitment, internal and external. Internal sources मतलब क्या, जो existing employees है उनको आप बोलो कि वो अपने ही फ्रेंड्स, रेफरेंस या रिलेटिव्स कहीं और दे नो समवन प्रोफेशनली, उनके जो रेफरल्स है उन्हीं को इनवाइट कर दें. ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को अच्छा होगा, because a known person is telling ki, okay, if I am telling my boss that okay, I have a friend who's willing to work here, right? My boss would say, okay, so if I am doing fine and if I know someone who's doing fine, so it is easier for them to handle. It is less expensive, it is less costly. So things are simple. जहाँ पे आपको कम नंबर के एम्प्लॉइज चाहिए, यू आर नॉट लुकिंग फॉर अ वेरी हाई लेवल पोजीशंस, वहाँ पे इंटरनल एप्लीकेंट्स और इंटरनल सोर्सेस वर्क्स वेल, राइट? So what is internal sources? Internal recruitment seeks applicants for positions from those who are currently employed. Internal sources includes present employees. जो present है उन्हीं को आप promote या transfer कर दो जहाँ vacancy है. So that's a part of internal recruitment. Employee referrals, former employees, former applicants, पहले आए हुए applicants हैं, right? हमारे पास पड़े, so there's no need we do an again advertisement and spend money. पुराने applications में से ही पहले देख लो, अगर set हो जाता है तो. Right, all that is a part of internal sources. External sources, जहाँ पे you are inviting pool of talent from outside, right? They are not known to the organization, but you are willing to invite some talented people in the organization. That is external sources. Specifically, sources external to a firm are, professional or trade associations, advertisements. You give an advertisement to a newspaper and you get a lot of applicants. It's external. प्रोफेशनल और ट्रेड एसोसिएशंस, देयर आर एसोसिएशंस, उनका एक ट्रेड का, प्रोफेशनल का, स्पेशली फाउंड इन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स एंड जॉबर्स, कंस्ट्रक्शन, वहाँ पे एसोसिएशंस होते, इट इज ईजियर टू फाइंड एम्प्लॉइज देयर. एम्प्लॉयमेंट एक्सचेंजेस, कॉलेज, यूनिवर्सिटी, इंस्टीट्यूट्स, कैंपस रिक्रूटमेंट्स, placement services, walk-ins, you would have come across advertisements that a particular kind of a laborer is needed, usually found in jobbers for third level management. Bottom level management में factory workers के लिए gate recruitments, यहाँ पे walk-ins और write-ins are very usual. Consultants, contractors, displaced persons, radio, television, acquisitions and mergers, right? Competitors, all these are the places from where you can get resources. There are of course employment consultants also, right? Specifically for higher level of management. If you are looking for a new CEO, there is no advertisement of CEO. You'll never find an advertisement of CEO on a newspaper. An organization is willing to hire a new CEO because the old CEO is retiring. यहाँ पे you go to consultants. You look out for your competitors and give them offer. So for higher levels of management, there are consultants, there are competitors, acquisitions and mergers. For middle level of management, there are advertisements, campus recruitments. And for bottom level of management, there are contractors, right? Factory gate, walk-ins, all these. So for different levels of management, depending on the type of vacancy organization has, sources are used. Accordingly, external sources of recruitment are used. So what are the advantages of using internal source, known source? What is the advantage? It is less costly. Of course, newspaper में ad दो, एकदम strange लोगों से मिलो तो of course you need to go an entire process of medical checkup, background check, reference check. We'll do selection process in the next session, wherein you will understand that selection process is also lengthy and expensive, right? So of course it is less expensive क्योंकि यहाँ पे known person है. So a lot of things, background check, reference check, वो सबका आपका time बच गया, पैसे बच गए. So it is definitely less expensive. Second, firm typically have a better knowledge of the internal candidate's skills and abilities than the ones acquired through external recruiting. And third, an organizational policy of promoting from within can enhance employees' morale, organizational commitment, and job satisfaction. So you can also, internal sources definitely improves the morale of the employees too, because they know that they will be the first one to be promoted, then the external person, right? However, it also has some disadvantages because you are not inviting the new or fresh blood in the organization. So creative problem solving can be hindered because of lack of new talents. Some companies complain of unit raiding in which divisions compete for the same people. So which is called as unit raiding, जहाँ पे divisions are competing for the same people. A third possible disadvantage is that of politics, right? Probably has it is much greater disadvantage, and therefore a lot of organizations do not go for internal recruitment specifically. Impact on internal recruitment and selection than does external recruiting, right? So this is entire one point only, that the disadvantage is politics and bureaucracy is high when it comes to internal recruitment. एक्सटर्नल रिक्रूटमेंट जहाँ पे आप एडवर्टीजमेंट्स, कैंपस रिक्रूटमेंट्स या कंसल्टेंट्स के थ्रू लाते हो. सो व्हाट इज द एडवांटेज? ऑफ कोर्स फ्रेश ब्लड, न्यू टैलेंट, न्यू एक्सपीरियंस. So new skills, new talents, new experience come to the organization. Compliance with reservation policy becomes easy, and scope of resentment, jealousies, heartburn can be avoided. Disadvantage, of course, इसके भी disadvantage. Better morale and motivation associated with internal recruitment is denied to the company because people might say हमें promote नहीं किया, बाहर से किसी को ले आए. So yes, the morale would be low. Of course, it is costly. Chances of creeping in false positive and false negative errors. You never know someone from external is coming. So could be a wrong person for the organization. So उसके chances यहाँ पे high हैं. And adjustment of new employees to the organization's culture could take some long time. When it comes of internal employees, they know about the organization, तो उनका adjustment won't take so much of time. In case of external, it could be time consuming. Right? I hope this third process is clear. Searching. Searching means from where are you going to find the new candidates? So there are two sources of finding new candidates, internal and external. Both have its own advantages and disadvantages. It is up to the organization to know which source of recruitment suits best for the kind of vacancy they have. Once the searching part is over, next comes screening. Now, screening normally you would see again in selection process also, जहाँ पे the first stage is of screening of applications. So some people say screening as a starting point of selection, but it is to be noted that it is an integral part of recruitment. What is screening? Screening is you do little bit of shortlisting, elimination of extremely unsuitable candidate. जहाँ पे clearly mentioned है that the person should be postgraduate, but you have received an application of an undergraduate person. Then that application should just not go ahead in the next stage of selection, right? So यहाँ पे आपने on the spot उसको reject किया. You do not need, an approval of the expert कि इसको मैं reject करूँ या ना करूँ, because it is just not eligible. So screening is just to check whether the person is eligible for the job or not. So the reason behind the selection process starts only after the applications have been screened and shortlisted. Let's see an example. जैसे यूनिवर्सिटी में प्रोफेसर्स की फिलिंग का एक एग्जाम्पल है. In the universities, applications are invited for filling the post of professors. Applications received in response to invitation, that is advertisements, are screened and shortlisted on the basis of eligibility and suitability. Then only the screened applicants are invited for seminar presentation and personal interview. The selection process starts here from seminar presentation and interview. So I hope this makes sense. Screening मतलब हमने shortlist कर दिया उसको on the basis of eligibility and suitability. जैसे अगर प्रोफेसर्स के रिक्रूटमेंट के लिए बेसिकली मास्टर्स एजुकेशन इज कंपलसरी और मिनिमम 3 to 4 years का एक्सपीरियंस होना चाहिए इन इंडस्ट्री और ऑफ लेक्चरशिप, राइट, then only the person is eligible for the next for a particular university. That becomes the eligibility and suitability. इतना बेसिक तो होना ही चाहिए. उसके बाद depending on their interviews, depending on their presentation, depending on others presentation, you compare and then you finally select the one, right? So screening helps you to find out who is not at all eligible and who can be eliminated at a go, so that पीछे के process में उतना smoothly काम हो. For screening, job specification is the most important thing. What is job specification? Require basic eligibility criteria which is important. For example, applications are screened against the qualification, knowledge, skills, abilities, interest and experience mentioned in the job specification, right? For example, qualification is the basic form of screening everywhere, that minimum how much qualification is required for certain type of job. Those who do not qualify are straight away eliminated from the selection process. The techniques used for screening candidates vary depending on the source of supply and method used for recruiting. Preliminary applications, deselection test and screening interviews are common techniques for screening the candidates, right? You would have heard of lot of examinations. For example, a national eligibility test, which allows you to know that okay, those who are cleared NET can apply for JRF. So these are what? These are deselection test. क्या इतने लोगों ने ये टेस्ट क्लियर ही नहीं किया तो इनको हम सिलेक्ट ही नहीं करेंगे. So that is nothing but it helps to create a standardized process. Normally in government jobs, state banks, right, or central banks, central railways, they do this kind of process. जहाँ पे there is an examination, you have to clear. If you fail to clear the examination, you are right away deselected. That's the first stage of screening, that out of 100 applications received, 50 are eligible, they can go ahead in the next process. Once searching and screening is done, last comes evaluation and control. That my entire process of recruitment has been done. I want to see whether मेरा जो पूरा process हमने किया, right, was it fine, was it worthy of so much of time and cost, right? Could we find the right number of applicants, the good quality of applicants? Could we find the, could we select some nice people who stayed in the organization for long period of time? So all this is the way you evaluate कि हमने जो पूरी process की, finding internal external sources, और उसमें से हमने जो applicants लाए, क्या वो सही थे? अगर नहीं, ये पूरी process करने के बाद भी employee turnover rate was high, training development cost of a candidate was high, still employee left the organization after 3-4 months, short period of time, right? Employee turnover rate if it is high, that means there is something wrong in your selection process, in the recruitment process, and the organization needs to rework on the process, right? So evaluation and control is important to know the process followed for HRP, human resource planning. Given the considerable cost involved in the recruitment process, its evaluation and control is therefore imperative. The costs generally incurred in recruitment process are salary of recruiters, right? Cost of time spent on preparing job analysis, advertisements, etc. Admin expenses, cost of outsourcing or overtime while vacancies remain unfulfilled, retention and performance of the candidates selected, cost incurred in recruiting unsuitable candidates. कि सारे cost incur हुए. Now the process is it all worth, right? That you can come to know after a year or two, where an organization will actually get the results. That last year we recruited so many people, of which these many were selected. अब उसमें क्या performance हुआ? अगर performance अच्छा हुआ, that means recruitment selection process was good. Can be continued again. Otherwise, some change is needed. So in the view of above, it is necessary for a prudent employer to try to answer certain questions like whether the recruitment methods are appropriate and valid, the method you used, and whether the recruitment process followed in the organization is effective at all or not. In case the answers to these questions are negative, then appropriate control measures need to be involved and exercised to tide over the situation. However, such an exercise seems to be only rarely carried out in practice by the organizations and employers. So now this is an entire process that we studied. Let us just quickly go through it. First comes planning. Planning के बाद planning से हमें क्या पता चलेगा कि कितनी vacancies है, right? Which helps you to do proper that how many numbers and types of jobs are to be filled, right? This is my planning, that these are the number of people needed, these are the kind of people needed, these are the kind of jobs which are vacant. For this, the next stage is strategy development. From where will you get the resources, how will you get it, when will you get it, when are you planning to do an advertisement and all. Once the stage is over, then comes searching. You start searching. Remember, internal and external sources of recruitment. So start searching for. You might need to, give some message, give some advertisements, take the help of, media. From all that, you will receive pool of applications. अब ये सारी applications आने के बाद what is the next stage you do? Screening of applications, right? Who are suitable, who are not suitable, whom should we, eliminate, who should go ahead. You do this. This helps you to tell that how many of them have potential, right? जितने ये potential हैं, उनको अब हम next stage पे ले जाएंगे, which is selection. अब इतने applicants are, out of 100, 50 are eligible. अब ये 50 को हम next stage में ले जाएंगे for selection process. Selection process में क्या आएगा? Interviews, medical tests, background check, reference check, all that has to be done before you appoint someone, give them the final placement appointment letter, right? This entire method has to be evaluated over and again. Evaluation होगा, अगर ये method सही नहीं लगा तो come back to this again planning and strategy that something was wrong in our strategy, right? So entire thing has to be reworked. So it's a continuous process. It is not something जो एक बार हो गया फिर नहीं होगा, right? But you need to understand that recruitment process is not possible if there is no job analysis. Job analysis means what type of a job is there, what are the skills required, duties, responsibilities, क्योंकि वो सब हमें बताना है स्क्रीनिंग के टाइम पे हमें चाहिए, राइट? सो जब हम प्लान करते हैं कि कितनी नंबर ऑफ जॉब्स चाहिए, क्या टाइप्स ऑफ जॉब्स हैं, वी नीड टू हैव अ प्रॉपर जॉब एनालिसिस, एनालाइज द जॉब, इवैल्यूएट द जॉब, what are the skill sets required, what is the age group required, what are the knowledge or qualifications needed, right? All these things is important, employee requisition, and then you start searching, right? I hope this entire process of recruitment is clear. What is recruitment? Again, it is inviting applicants. It's a positive process where organization is looking for more and more applications. Selecting the right person. Recruitment has to be done at the right time, at the right place, right? For the right job. Otherwise, the entire process fails. So, the 5 stages of recruitment are recruitment planning, strategy development, searching, screening, and evaluation and control. I hope the process is clear. So, we have completed recruitment. In the next lecture, we shall be talking about selection process. Thank you so much.